Okay, right, welcome everyone. Yo, what's going on? Welcome. Right, I'm gonna try and put you there. Or actually, let's spin that around. Let's just turn this around. Okay, let's do that. Right. Yo, how's it going, my man? Yo, how's it going, Matt? Right, let me just let me get set up real quick on because I'm live streaming on both platforms. So let me just get set up. Okay, cool. Yeah, so we're live streaming on TikTok and YouTube. So yeah, let's get rocking and rolling. So hey everyone, how's it going? I'm just outside London, mate. Hey, how's it going? But yeah, Matt, good to have you here, mate. Okay, cool. Oh yeah, it's been a busy day, so I'm just it's been so hot. I've gone through like 3 t-shirts today because it's so hot. So today we're going to talk about opportunity and the way the world is changing. So for anyone who, in terms of do I do promos, what do you mean? I work with brands and I work with sponsors, but I'm very particular on who I work with. So the answer is yes, but I don't just work with anyone. If that's what you mean, yes, I do. I do brands and partnerships with sponsors and stuff like that. Okay, right, everyone, welcome. Let's jump into the live. So we're going to talk about opportunity and the way the world is changing. So, we're in exciting times right now. And I think it's important for everyone who wants to live a really fulfilled and purpose-driven life to at least understand the way the world is going, right? And content creation, the world of business, the landscape, all this kind of stuff. It's changed. It's not scary. It's not daunting. Things have changed, and it's important that we really embrace it and adopt it. So that's what I'm talking about today: is change. Right. So evening, everyone, and I'll answer questions as I go through. So hey, Michaela, how's it going? Hello, Aaron. Thanks for answering my question yesterday. I had to listen to the replay because when you started answering, I was being prepared for a medical procedure. Your perspective was so helpful. Great. Yeah, so evening. Hi, how's it going? If you do have a username and you're sticking around, great, but just let me know what your name is. So if you have a username, let me know your actual real name. And by the way, anyone on YouTube, if you are sticking around, we're going to be talking about entrepreneurship, business, escaping the 9 to 5, all that kind of stuff. Yo, Rob, how's it going? I'm live streaming on 2. I've got YouTube live stream on the go. And yeah, man. Yo, Ross, what's going on, big boy? How's it going, man? Roll on the digital age, not the industrial. Yeah. Agahogo, if that's your name, how's it going? Okay, cool. Right, we're going to get into the live now. Kersha, thanks for liking the live. Anyone that's sticking around, please do double tap. Let's rack up the likes, share this, ask questions. Same for YouTube, ask questions. Right, Darren, how's it going? Wayne, how's it going, my man? I know it depends on the business model, but do you feel having a website is important? Not anymore. No, not anymore. Yeah, I wouldn't bother with a website anymore. No, I'd have a landing page. And yo, Craig, how's it going, man? I'd have a landing page, but I wouldn't bother with a website. No, a great Instagram, a great TikTok, a great YouTube, and a good landing page and a funnel. Using Linktree, Go High Level, Wix, Squarespace. Just get yourself a good CRM system, build a sales page. But yeah, I wouldn't bother with a website. Yo, David, how's it going? Okay, so look, everyone, ask questions. Great. I have no idea what spec my Mac laptop has. I've got an M2 series. There you go. I have no idea what the spec is. I'm not techie like that. Right, I'm gonna face the TikTok one, but I'll switch between. Maybe I can bring these a little bit closer. Let me just let me move it like that. So there we go. We're all a bit closer to each other now. So there we go. So I've got my YouTube in front of me. Although the lighting is better on TikTok. Yo, hey, how's it going, Lena? Yo, David, I'm all good, dude. I'm all good. Okay, so look, everyone, let's jump into it, right? The landscape of business has changed. It's really exciting. Let me just share something. Good camera quality this end. Okay, great. It's probably just a bit dull for me. By the way, if you're on my YouTube, just hit the thumbs up button. And that's the metric that I think we've got to push. So just, if you're sticking around, great. Just a little thumbs up. Okay, we're going to come to all the questions. George, how's it going, man? I'm really trying to do TikTok full-time, but it's hard. Should I keep trying or just give... George, you already know the answer. You know, you've got to keep going. You've got to keep learning. You know, you've got to keep adding value to people's lives, tweaking, adapting, pivoting. Yeah, of course, never give up. You know, what would be the point in giving up? O'Shane, how's it going? Hey, Aaron, great channel. What is a helpful game plan to be able to change things in 9 months? Great question. Change your social circle, get really good with your money, train, you know, physically work out, really take your fitness very seriously, educate every single week with a book, go to a networking event, learn. There's 3 pillars: networking, education, and fitness. But I would also adopt social media. Get yourself on social media, create loads of content, add loads of value, talk about things that you're passionate about and that you love, and just do that for, you know, for the full 9 months. Go all in, no stone unturned. Yo, how's it going to you? Charlie in Italy, how's it going, man? Okay, right, everyone, I'm going to answer the questions in just a second. I'll read out the questions in a minute. Let me just get into the bulk of my live stream, okay? Because I really want to just jump into it, okay? So there we go. And any rubbish like that, if you put any nonsense on YouTube, although we don't really get it, I'm going to remove you, so no nonsense. Yo, Michaela, how's it going? We're double live streaming. Right, here we go. So, business has changed. Business is not risky. If you're a content creator, you're a business owner. If you create courses and programs, you're a business owner. If you have memberships, you're a business owner. If you have a service or a product or some form of a SaaS membership, a monthly membership, whatever it is, you are a business owner. If you generate profit and you are reinvesting back into yourself, you're educating yourself, you are a business owner. You do not need to have an office. You do not need to have employees. You do not need to have vehicles. You don't need to have printers. You know, you don't need stationery. You don't need a big limited company to be a business owner. A business owner is someone who creates something where there's a problem, where there's a gap, where there's a market for you to add your unique speciality, for you to dive in with a niche, you know, to throw your experience and knowledge in. And if you can convert that into a monetized passion, a monetized hobby, you become a business owner. If you are solving people's problems, you have fallen into the economy of business, right? A laptop, a phone, an idea, consistency, you know, the ability to actually deliver on a promise. Create content is marketing. You know, once upon a time, people would pay for Facebook ads. They would, you know, run a radio advertisement. They would pay for billboards. We have this beauty now to get on social media, talk about things that we love, and do it in a way that we can funnel our audience into things that we are looking to sell on, you know. this kind of stuff. The landscape of business has changed. Wait, let me just scroll up. Okay. Social media, fitness, education. So we'll switch between TikTok and YouTube. Right, social media, fitness, education, networking, add value, got it. Awesome. Networking, education, and exercise. Yeah, they're like fundamentals to, you know, the core stability of you being able to achieve really good things. Aaron, I'm in my 9 to 5 and you have inspired me to start future tradings. I've been trading for 4 years, but more serious than ever. Your videos help me feel like I'm not crazy for hating corporate. No, you're not. You've woken up. All these sheep, all of these corporate zombies that year after year after year after year live the same life. They are numb. They are numb to reality, and they are blinded by what could be. For anyone who, you know, who's ever hated on my content, they're blind. And what they do is they're projecting their own insecurities. So yeah, I'm wishing you all the best, mate, and keep smashing it. Happy days. Right, Wayne, currently have a Facebook group of nearly 600, so I'm just educating there for now, creating digital products as we speak, but struggling to monetize and put a program together. Any ideas? Yeah, Wayne, so what I would do is I would create a questionnaire form of some sort on, you know, a platform like, you know, Jotform or ScoreAt or Go High Level or Wix. Create a questionnaire form and put that into all of your social media, and then spend time creating certain types of content which will create a call to action, and then drive people to fill out that questionnaire form, asking them key questions which you need the answers to figure out what people want from you. You need people to constantly answer your questions so that you have an idea what you can create and package as a program, and then put that together, and then obviously you can upsell. So you need data is what I'm saying, Wayne. You need a lot of it. It's like a rule of thumb. If you can get 150 people to say the same thing, you should probably create something around that one thing. If you can get about 150 people to say, I have this problem. Right, let's get rid of this absolute sausage. Right, he's gone. The great thing is, when someone starts acting like a prat, we just F them off. For example, you find someone sitting at your desk reading your emails on purpose. Okay, I'm going to switch to TikTok now. I'm looking at those zombies right now. The corporate family. Aaron, you are helping to free people from wage slavery. You are... I love that. I see myself as the beacon of freedom. Trying to wake people up. Thanks, Michaela. I build Discords for companies and streamers. Oh, I love that. That's probably a really unique and in-demand niche. See, it's stuff like that you want to get into. Building Discords for streamers, for all the different platforms, creating somewhere where the modern age business owner can go and utilize software like that. Like if you can build a tech AI software, if you can build some form of AI SaaS, again, software application, problem solve, something like that. If you're any good at building like API stacks, you know, there's a lot of money in that. It's well above my pay grade doing anything like that. But, you know, anything to do with APIs or tech stacks, you know, happy days. Easy to scale once you have a template. Yeah, so once you have processes in place, yeah, for sure, things become easier, right? Tracy, feel free to, you know, raise what's going on or ask a question, and I'll do my best to give you an answer. By the way, I just really want to encourage, if you have questions, ask your questions, because I'm between TikTok and YouTube right now, so ask your questions. Right. Again, any absolute nonsense we just get rid of. We've still got to iron out the YouTube algorithm. So what do you do if a family member gets out of line? I mean, all these types of questions, I won't answer those types of questions. That's just Nothing to do with what I talk about. Yo, Name, what's going on, mate? How's it going? Right, let's read these out. Mate, the game is strong. Okay, so yeah, if I had £1 for every time I've answered this question, but I'm fully aware there's there are going to be people that have never seen me. Okay, so what was your name first? So if I can, obviously I can see your username, but if you give me your real name, and then I'll give you an answer. I'm quitting my job in a nursery because it's often so stressful. Would you work in one? Not for me, no. No, personally for me, I wouldn't work in a nursery, no. My niche is to make cabbies fit. What do you think? How far does it go? So let me just confirm. When you say cabbies, we are talking about cab drivers, right? Because I see, what have you got? The Australian, is that the Australian flag, or what have you got there? Is that Australian or New Zealand? I don't know what one that is. But we're on about cabbies, right? The same type of cabbies. Well, firstly, I would say number one, you've ticked a box of being very unique. I don't know what the demand is there. That's probably above my pay grade. I don't. What's your marketing like for that? I mean, it's great that you've niched for cab drivers who are sitting down all day. Blood flow's slowing up. But I suppose my first question to you, for me to then be able to have a conversation with you, what's your clientele like already? Like, is it a lot of word of mouth? Do you have a lot of like inbounds come from your social media? What is your social media like? Have you got good partnerships that, with like cab companies? Do you do like discounts for cab drivers? Uber? I don't know. In terms of long term, like the next 5-10 years, all I would say, Keshav, is be mindful, and this isn't scaremongering, I'm just saying be mindful that in the next 5 years, there's going to be a dramatic reduction in cab drivers and Uber drivers because of driverless vehicles. Now, to anyone who turns around and says there's not going to be many driverless vehicles, or it's a bit of a hype, believe me, it's well in motion. We can see it. So, I think that's just something else to bear in mind as the landscape of business changes, is just bear in mind, is your job at threat? Are you an accountant? Are you in architecture? Are you in finance? Are you some form of assistant? Are you a VA? Do you do design work? All these kind of things will have a big effect when, or they certainly will be affected when, AI really starts to advance and, jobs are threatened. So I would be mindful about what job role you're in. Like if you work in a call agency, like a call center, like Domestic and General, League and General, EDF, my God, British Gas, I don't know, we could name Vodafone, whatever. If you work in a call center, yeah, I probably would be looking for another job, in all honesty. Yo, thanks, man. Yo, Brian, how's it going, dudes? Mick, I'm assuming your name's Mick. Happy days, man. Appreciate you like the channel. I work for an agency and often have to repeatedly request payment for overtime. Frustrating. Totally get that. I'm working to get out the 9 to 5. Thank you so much. Love that. Amazing. Great. Keep going. It's well worth it. I was able to leave my job when I was 27. It's funny as well. I just want to, if you're really smart with your money, you can leave your job. Like if you start early, like if you start in your early 20s and you manage your money, you invest your money, and you learn to make your own money, and you reinvest that money to make more money, and you save hard, and you don't buy materialistic things, you can really put yourself in a great financial position. Honestly, look after your money and your money will look after you. I've said it a million times and I'll say it again. if you are smart with your money at the earliest point that you are conscious about money management, you can really set yourself up in such a fantastic position. Okay, what? Right, let me just approve that. I don't know. I had to. Okay, so nice, Taran. Nice. Right. Let me just read out. Taran, that's honestly, that's awesome. Right. Oh, I relied upon way too heavily due to my skills and my experience. I'm an area field manager. Company has recently been bought by Americans, and as per, they are squeezing everything and just get dealt more workloads. Yeah, so maximum productivity, minimum pay, right? Very common. Sadly, I had a very well paid job 25 years ago for 15 years, and you blew it all away on material stuff. It's a real shame, but unfortunately, it's really common. You know, this is why I do videos on, you know, the cost of living crisis isn't real. The cost of living crisis, number one, the title of it is driven by mainstream media to make poor mindset people fear, you know, be fearful of, you know, making any knee-jerk reactions when it comes to their finances, and more so to blame external factors, because again, you know, it's all about causing divide and blame and, you know, victim mentality, because that's the way the economy thrives, in a scarcity sort of mindset. But it's stuff like this, you know, you've been very honest there and said that you spent, you know, all your money on materialistic things and, you know, you blew it all away. But many people won't admit that. So, you know, massive kudos for you to actually admitting that. But most people are really bad with their money, and that's why I think this is where I'll take the conversation. Most people have to work a job because they need their job. Capital need. If you need a job, you are in one of the most dangerous positions that you can ever be in. And we can unpack that a little bit more. Yo, Sir Bergin, what's going on, man? Constantly chasing everything now. Yeah, well, I hope you get in a better financial position and, you know, maybe clear down your debt or whatever you've got going on, and just, you know, try to work towards being offensive on the offense rather than, you know, playing defense. I think the best thing for you, Chanel, is to learn how to make your own money, because if you're in debt or you're struggling financially, it's all very well managing your money and being frugal, but at some point you can get rid of that debt if you go on the offense. And if you actually push forward and learn to make your own money and not be dependent on an employer, you know, that's the quickest way to clear down, you know, your debt. A salary is a drug employers use to distract you from pursuing your dreams. Yeah, Mike, perfectly said. Don't need to add anything to that. Perfectly said. Well done. Right, I'm just going to switch to YouTube now. Yo, Thomas. Hey, how's it going, man? Yo, Maria. Right. I'm just going to scroll up real quick. I worked for Eon Energy. I'm not going to swear, by the way, on YouTube. I can swear on TikTok, but it affects the algorithm on YouTube. By the way, if you've just joined on YouTube, I'd love it if you could just hit the thumbs up button just above my head here. Just hit that thumbs up button, and I'd really appreciate that. That's the metric that I believe we've got to push for YouTube. So, hi Aaron, I'm currently 7 months pregnant with my first child. I'm interested in content creation and I've started a bit, but what's your thoughts on starting a small online selling business? Yeah, amazing. Yeah, I endorse it, and I think you should, and I think you should give it a go. So this is all I would say, Maria, is number one, I always say this, but just understand when you start creating content, people are looking for that individual who is real, no BS, authentic, because we're in a world now where people are fed up of seeing perfection. People are fed up of seeing a filtered lifestyle. People want to see real lives, and then they want to be inspired, or they want their life changed by that person that they're following. So I think there's two parts to this, Maria. Absolutely start your online business and start selling, but more so understand the people that you're going to create content for. Who are they? And I think it would be wise of you to actually put together an avatar of the ideal person that you would love to follow you. You know, what would you like them to get from you? How would you like to impact their lives? To understand what problems are those people having that you can relate to them with, that you can help them or guide them, and that basically you can just add loads of value to their life. And when you start to build trust through your brand, then you can start to mention your online business. And then in your content, you can start to do some call to actions. But for the foreseeable, Maria, add loads of value to people, show up every single day, document behind the scenes. Maybe you want to tell me what kind of content you would like to create, and then maybe I can give you a more detailed answer. But the crux of it is add so much value to people's lives that you are in a ratio of 90-10. 90% of everything you give for free and everything that you do within your content is for other people. And then eventually the 10%, they will pay you so much for implementation. So maybe you want to give me a bit more context and I can dive into it a bit more. But yeah, absolutely, for every single one of you, create content. There's too much money on the table for starters. And that's the way the world's going. If you're not creating content and you're still relying on a 9-to-5 job, you're falling massively behind. And this isn't gimmicky, by the way. Like, this isn't a joke. You know, it's not like laptop lifestyle, you know, working on a beach, you know, content creators aren't business owners. It's all nonsense. If anyone tells you that a content creator who is commercialized and well positioned, if someone tells you of an older age or a boomer says, oh, it's not a real job, tell them to F off and carry on stacking shelves and, you know, loading a lorry with a forklift or whatever, because they're talking out their rear end. Right, Aaron, great name, by the way. Working to get out the 9-to-5, Aaron, and your content has been a real help keeping me motivated. Love that, my man, and a great name, and spelt correctly. I'm working towards being a freelance web app developer. You think AI will make this unnecessary shortly? I really hope not. I would say build an agency that does it. So I do think it will be taken over by AI, because I've got to be honest, there's a lot of software that does that anyway, especially Go High Level. I use Go High Level and it's mind blowing. All I would say is I would probably try and build an agency that runs the software, and then you can sell like a SaaS product, or you start building out, you know, app development, tech stack, servers, web development for companies that are really outdated, but you have the AI software. So AI isn't wiping you out. You've built an agency that has the software. So that's what I would say. Usmar, Aaron, man, you are a motivation. Love that, man. Were you laid off, fired, or resigned? No, I left. So yeah, I resigned. Yeah, one day, it was very spontaneous. I got an email from HR and I decided to leave spontaneously. I was planning to leave, but on the day that I left, no, I didn't plan to leave that day. Right, 2 more questions on YouTube, and then I'm going to go to... I'm on YouTube as well. I'm going to come to TikTok in 2 seconds, and I'm going to scroll all the way up. So... don't worry, I don't miss any comments. I'm going to come on to TikTok in 2 seconds. In fact, I'll answer these questions in just a second. Wayne, I'll come back to you. Right. How to make money without content creating? Well, build more of an old school business. Alfie, ask you a question, mate. I post about food and football, and I don't think people are interested in my content. Why? So George, I would just measure yours against what's already working. Gemma, how's it going? Just seeing you there. So George, the great thing about the world that we live in is that there's blueprints everywhere. Like if you're wondering why you haven't yet been successful, go and find a food channel or a football channel that is absolutely crushing it and thriving, and measure. You know, you like go get yourself, well, I don't know what content on what platform you're creating, but you know, if you're on YouTube, for example, go download vidIQ or YouTube Buddy, TubeBuddy, and measure the metrics against your channel and their channel, and actually dive into the analytics to why yours isn't doing well. And then also do some self-evaluation, George. Are you boring? I'm just being honest. Are you boring? Because no one listens to boring. Is your hooks good? Are you solving a problem? Is the content engaging? Is it funny? You know, are you educating people? What kind of reaction are people going to have if they watch you? If you watch back your content and you're very honest and open with yourself, would you watch your content? You know, just stuff like this. Right. Topaz, hey, I don't know if you remember me, my content. I do remember you because I remember your name. How's it going? Should co-workers be talking about sacked employees after they've left? Well, I mean, I suppose well, they can do what they want. Yeah, well, yes, they can if they want, I suppose. But, you know, you can't control other people is what I'm saying. Okay, so Abigail, how's it going? Love your content. It made me realise that I was draining myself for my job and didn't appreciate it. Yeah, never go above and beyond. Someone said to me in the comments, and I've done a video today for YouTube about this. So if you're on my YouTube and you follow me, I've got a great video coming out very soon. I said in one of my videos that I wouldn't take a salary for 3 million quid a year or 4 million. There's no amount of money that you could pay me to go back to a job. And someone in the comments said I would work a £3 million job and I would work for 2-3 years and I would just make as much money as I could. But here's the thing, imagine selling your soul to a corporate world for 2 to 3 years. Imagine what that would involve. 7 days a week on call, high pressures, high targets, metrics needing to be met. The puppet strings are so tight and small and rigid, you are literally bent over a barrel and rogered. You know, 3 million a year. Who here would want to be on a £3 million salary? You don't see your wife, you don't see your husband, you're neglecting your kids, you're not happy, you're losing your hair, you're on anxiety tablets, you're depressed, you're in meetings that you don't want to be in, you're being called in at the weekend when you wanted to have a day off, you're being bothered when you're on holiday. No amount of money should ever cause you stress in the 9 to 5. Lena, Aaron, how do you go from posting content to actually making it profitable and unique? So obviously I've got loads of videos on my YouTube about this. One in particular, which is generate from 5 to 100,000. So yeah, for anyone who doesn't know, I've generated over 190,000, well, more now, but 190,000 pounds gross from my social media in the last 24 months. So, you know, a hell of a lot of money. You need to position yourself to the point where brands and companies want to pay you tens of thousands of pounds to be the face and the voice of their product and service. So that's number one. Obviously, number two, you can monetize on the platform, you know, actually from views and, you know, endorsements and all these kind of things that you actually get on the platform itself. But the real monetization, Lena, is generating so much of an engaged audience that you can run call to actions where you upsell a product. You want to move them to low-hanging fruit. So that might be a buy-in of a product, a service, you know, really, really low end. And then you want to bring them into your social ecosystem when then you start to upsell them. You start to move them onto paid webinars. You start to move them into a membership, you know, programs, courses, all this kind of stuff, consulting, coaching. You know, there's a whole social ecosystem to this madness of how you can monetize, and you can monetize anything and everything. And then when you start making that money, you want to reinvest that back into the business. You want to then implement systems and processes, take on a team, take on an editor, take on PR, take on a VA, and there's millions of ways to monetize on the platform, off of the platform. But I would certainly say if you're going to go into content creation, you want to have a wish list of companies that you would love to work for and then you want to reverse engineer how you create that content to have that brand or business reach out to you and say, Lena, we would love to pay you to showcase our product or our new service. And think about it. Back in the day, big companies were paying tens of thousands of pounds in Google ads, SEO, targeted adverts, billboards, radio, TV, and they were spending, tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of pounds every month or every quarter. And what they're able to do is they're able to reclaim that budget. There's no hype in TV, there's no hype in radio. What they're going to do is they're going to take this big old marketing budget and they're going to start distributing it to content creators and business creators and other influencers alike, who are able to get millions of views in a reach, and they'll pay them tens of thousands of pounds. So many different ways to monetize. But Lena, I think I sent you a couple of videos that's worth watching. I'm a recovered addict and would love to grow social media to help people. Great, that's a great niche to get into, by the way, the whole recovering, gambling, addiction, overcoming all that stuff. So I think you should pursue that, because again, that's a really meaningful piece of content. And also you're really going to, again, it ticks the box of you're going to impact people's lives, and that's what works. Yeah, work is work, home is home. So Alfie, just some advice, mate. I'd stay well out of it. I'd stay well out of it, to be honest with you. Don't get caught up in the drama. Now I'm the last one in, first one out. Awesome. Supporting you, Michael. Thanks, buddy. Okay, right. Let's hop over to YouTube. Mate, I'm like you. I don't want a lot anymore. I just want a simple life and not even a lot of money. If I match nearly my salary, I'll leave this 9 to 5. Yeah, so Wayne, just aim for 80% of your salary and just reduce as much as you can. I'm struggling in finding clients for engineering service business. I would jump on TikTok and absolutely smash the granny out of it, Usma, because there's so much organic reach. What do you think about funnel builds? 5 Facebook ads funneling to one product. Yeah, great, but I just wouldn't run ads. I've got to be honest with you. 2 platforms. Smash TikTok for 6 months, and I would allocate about 60% of your time to TikTok to build a big old credible trustworthy brand, and then I would spend 40% creating long form content on YouTube. So yeah, that's what I would do. I would have that allocation. The reason I say 60% on TikTok is because the ability to grow so rapidly if you tick the right boxes, right? But then I would always keep 40% allocation to creating long form, educational, tutorial guides on YouTube, which has a funnel built in. To be honest with you, I've never paid for an ad, and I'm not about to pay for an ad. So that's just my advice. I think stress the organic content and the reach that you can get on a platform like TikTok and YouTube before you ever put your hand in your pocket. Because here's the thing, right? If you pay for adverts or boosts or promotions, the platform has you by the gonads, because they know you're willing to pay. Yo, Mark, how's it going, dude? As soon as you pay, you'll see a tank in your organic views, because the platform knows that you need your dopamine hit. And then what they'll do is they will tank your organic content until you put your hand back in your pocket, and then you're a paying customer, because they know that you're then only requiring dopamine hit, because you need your likes, you need your comments, and you're not in it for the long run. And I think there's a real benefit to never ever paying for an advert as long as you can, and just really rinse the organic content. And also, if your message is good enough, you shouldn't need to pay for adverts. As I said yesterday when I was doing the live with my mate Jason, I think unless you're going on an aggressive marketing campaign for a book launch or a certain type of product, I don't think you need to consider adverts. Well, certainly for my style of businesses, Why did I shave my beard and then grow it back? Because I don't know, because I wanted to. You know, I haven't really got anything else to say other than that. Because I wanted to. Aaron, what books do you recommend? Well, gosh, how long have you got? I Know What to Do, So Why Don't I Do It by Dr. Nick Hall, one of my favourites. Les Brown, The Power of Purpose. Alex Hormozi, 100 Million Offers. Alex Hormozi, 100 Million Leads. Alex Hormozi, 100 Million Business Models. Gary V, Crushing It. Gary V, 12 and a half. Brian Tracy's Ultimate Library. Jim Rohn, Ultimate Library. I can never remember Jimmy Carr's book, but that was a pretty good one. Russell Brand's book, that was a good one. Public Speaking for Success by Dale Carnegie. I would always say as a starter book, you can't beat Rich Dad, Poor Dad. If you've never even read a book or started in entrepreneurship, I would always say go there because that's like the starter book for everyone. That was my starter book. I would say it's good to learn about commodities, gold, and there's a book called Why Gold, Why Now? I think everyone should learn about gold because it's an insurance policy that you should all learn about. Yo, Adam, what's going on, man? Michael, thanks so much, dude. How would you target car park companies for sponsorships? I would do some crazy stuff. Go street interviewing, go round interviewing. Literally go in and talk to these car dealerships or, car parks. Like, send them emails. Do like crazy content. Think like really creative. Think outside the box and then tag them in like car parts accessories or Euro parts. I don't know who you want to work with, but think of, recreate an advert for them. Recreate an advert. Look at the guy who recreated an advert for Prime bottles, and then literally KSI and Logan Paul hired the guy to do the new Prime advert. There was a guy who did a Pepsi advert and got hired to do Pepsi's new advert. So I don't know, be creative. Okay, I'm gonna switch to Les Brown's books are great. Yeah. Right, let me just shoot over to here. JK, if you could re-ask your question, please, mate. Think and Grow Rich. Yeah, actually, great book, and also How to Win Friends and Influence People. That's a freaking great book. Yo, Imran, what's going on, big dog? Lena, pleasure. I do. Yeah, I mean, I do in many different capacities. Yeah, L Fitzy or whatever your name is. Right. Well, Alan, I mean, there's many moving parts to actually how you create one. Alan, in what context are you asking me how to create one to sell? So what, the building of it or the recording of it, how to put it together, what do you sell it on, what platform? So maybe if you can, give me a bit more context, I'll answer your question. All right, let's go back to TikTok. As I mentioned, I'm recovered at it, but don't know how to start. Okay, so I'll answer this as I have no idea where you're at, but let's just say you haven't started at all. JK, what's your name? If you can give me your name, mate, and then we can go from there. Reduce hours as business grows. Usmar, do you mean that's what you want to do, or how do you reduce hours? Because that's something that I'm doing massively, is reducing the amount of hours that I actually okay. What's the question? What are you asking me, mate? Maybe just re-ask the question. Hey, Michelle, how's it going? Yes. Yeah. So yeah, if you can, yeah. So you get that nice balance, sort of that realignment. Yeah. So as your business starts to take off, yeah, you're going to need to put more hours into your business. So yeah, try and either reduce your work hours or go and get a part-time job and work on your business more. Yeah. So you manage that transition. Yeah, you've already got it. If your business starts to do well, you need to double down, you need to put more time in it, which means you're either going to need to have that conversation, which I don't think many companies would be happy with, let's be honest. So it's better just to go stack shelves, work a night shift, go do 4 hours, 5 hours in a supermarket, something like that. Don't tell anyone who you are, what you're building. Go get any part-time job, work 3 days a week, and spend the remaining days, working on your business. Right. Justina. Okay, cool. Your co-workers are not your friends. Absolutely not. So Justina, I would say, my first question to you, Justina, how would you like to help people? So if you're going to create content and you're going to put your face out there and you're going to share a message, what is that message that you want to share? So, what do you want to do for people? What's the outcome? Try and answer me. What's your A to B for people? What's the journey from point A to point B to point B? What do you do in between? So that's the question for you to answer, to give to me, and then I can go from there. What problem are you solving for the people who are going to watch your videos, and who are you actually trying to impact? Yeah, Think and Grow Rich. Adam, you should listen to... Oh, God. It's gone out of my bloody head. But Adam, you should listen to I Know What to Do, So Why Don't I Do It? That's such a great book. Honestly, everyone should listen to that book. You know what book was good? Hustle Harder, Hustle Smarter by 50 Cent. That was a great book. It's more about 50 Cent's life, but if you can listen to books where people have come from nothing, you can relate to these people more because it gives you hope. I always find it hard to listen to books if I ever find out that their parents were in business, or they had money to begin with, because I can't relate to people that were given things, because I've never been given anything in my life. So I like to listen to books like Les Brown, who I love to listen to Jim Rohn as well. Jim Rohn's, I love his books, great books. But I do like a story from zero to hero, I mean, all the David Goggins books, I enjoy those. Good kick up the bum. Okay, so Justina, you want them to know that they're not alone. So I would say you probably need to go more niche with that. That's a little bit more on the motivational side. So I would say you need to identify an actual problem. So do you want to help people? I don't know what addiction you had. You don't need to say what addiction you had. I'll just say one. But, if someone had an addiction to gambling, for example, if you could be the person that can help that person immediately stop the spending, that's the problem that you're solving. So someone is an addict to gambling, there's no point trying to be a motivational person. Because look, by the way, this is for everyone. If you're going to create content, don't create content to motivate people. Don't motivate people. Neither you or I or David Goggins, we're not David Goggins, we're not Jordan Peterson, we're not Eric Thomas. Don't motivate people. You are not big enough to motivate people. You need to problem solve. So Justina, I would say find the exact problem that you are going to help someone with immediately when you start creating content. You need to go deeper into the thing, the niche that you're going to create content about. So I suppose that's my next question to you, is dive a little bit deeper into that. Clock in, last one in, first one out. I just want to make good content that people enjoy, and my content make people happy, that's all. Well, George, that's great, dude. All I would say is, what's the longevity in making people feel good? I would say have a purpose behind it, mate. So for everyone else as well, you can all remember this. It's called OMV, Origin, Mission, Vision. Origin is why are you starting? So why are you starting a business? Why? What's it for? For who? Why are you doing it? The mission. What are you going to need to do? What sacrifices are you going to need to make? What person are you going to need to become? What needs to happen during the journey, during the mission for you to be successful? And then number 3 is the vision. Where's this going? How far can you go with this? How big can this be? What does this evolve into? What's the sustainability? So all I would say, George, I love the message that you want people to enjoy it and you want people to be happy, but people enjoying and being happy doesn't necessarily put you in a position where you could leave your job, or you could do this full time, or you could grow it and make it bigger and impact more people and make more people happy. All I would say, George, is learn to commercialize yourself. And what I'll do, let me just pop it on the screen. Right, so let me just share something with everyone. TikTok have done an update, so I don't know where the photos have gone. Let me just see if I can find the photos, because they've moved everything. Typical, hey? All right, let me search for it. Oh, I think that's it. Oh, here we go. Right, let me just grab up a photo. So George, Lena, and everyone else, I did a video not too long ago, which is, okay, it's this one. So if you go check out this video on my YouTube channel, this will teach you how to commercialize and position yourself as an authority figure. So this is on my YouTube. Go find this video and watch it, and then thank me later. This is the only video you need to watch to really understand how you turn it into a commercialized business. I recently started reading Build Your Dream after hearing from Simon Squibb. Well, yeah, Simon Squibb's a very good friend of mine, so yeah, absolutely, I would endorse his book. So yeah, give it a read, and yeah. You won't go far wrong. Look, any self-education, you won't go wrong. Any advice for someone whose back's against the wall, but also wants to prove everyone wrong. Lena, what was I saying earlier? So, Brandon, you are in the exact position that I was when I was 20 years old. My back was against the wall. I needed to make a decision and moves, and I needed to take action because my back was against the wall, just like yours is now. This is a message for everyone. People will only do stuff when they fear the consequence. If you're comfortable, if your mum and dad pay your bills, if you haven't got kids, you're being paid by a job, there's nothing really scaring you at the moment, you will not take the necessary action in order to change your life. You won't build the business if you're not scared of the consequence of not doing it. If you don't fear something, you probably won't do something that you know that you should do, or at least give it a go. So I would say, Brandon, you are probably in one of the best positions that you'll ever be in order to go on to actually do the thing that needs doing. So I would just use that to fuel you on. Okay, so drug and alcohol. It's okay, I already posted a few videos. Okay, cool. So I would go really deep with what causes addiction, what to look out for, how to be honest and open, how to tell people, how to actually admit that you're an addict with drugs and alcohol. Key signs, I would do checklists. I would do educational videos, and obviously you need to make the video hooky and you need to tick all the boxes to make sure that you're doing great videos. But 10 signs you might be going down a slippery slope when it comes to addiction with drug and alcohol, or 10 signs to know that you are a drug and alcohol addict, or how to overcome being a drug addict, how to immediately stop being an alcohol addict in 3 simple steps. Stuff like this. Just teach, and just beat the same drum day after day, consistently, every single day. Yo, hey, I'm gonna take a punt and say it's Emma. Finally left my dead-end job today to set up my business from home. Your videos have helped me so much. Amazing. If I've got anyone's name wrong, by the way, apologies, but I'm gonna say your name is look at that. What an odd thing to say. Let me just what an odd thing to say. He's a hairdresser. That explains a lot. There we go. What is the best way to gain steady clientele? Well, yeah, I'm calling you Emma. Your name could be something totally different, but I'm assuming your name is Emma. TikTok. Just smash TikTok with a little call to action to your link tree. Have a questionnaire form, Emma. Emma, have you got a CRM system yet? That's my first question. Eunice, how's it going? Look at that. There we go. Right, let me just scroll down. Emma, I don't know. Did you tell me your name's Emma? I don't know. Yeah, so Emma, you're gonna if you're trying to get Jay, how's it going? If you're trying to get clientele, you absolutely need a CRM system. Yeah, you need to be collecting data, names, phone numbers, emails, questions. What do people want? You need to be sending SMS marketing, email marketing. Nurturing them on Instagram, nurturing them on LinkedIn. Outbounding, creating workflows, all this kind of stuff. This is for another time. We talk about all of this because that's this is going into like the back end stuff of business. But yeah, you need to be creating all this kind of stuff. It's Amy. Okay, cool. Well, Amy, if you check out. I use Go High Level for all of my stuff. So if you go to my come away. You don't want a spreadsheet. You need a CRM system. You need a proper software. If you're going to build a real business, you need to get a software. I've used ClickFunnels, Wix, Zapier, and MailChimp. Now I'm on Go High Level. I've used things like ScoreApp, Jotform, is it Octopus Marketing? I think it might have been Octopus. I can't remember. Octopus Marketing, something like that. All that kind of stuff. But if you want to check out if you go on my link tree, Amy, it says Go High Level. You can click on that and then you can find out more, and there's like a test that you can do as well. Right. Okay. There's some there is some oddballs out there, aren't there? Remember, nothing is possible. Thank you. Just got the audiobook. I know what to do, so why don't I do it? Oh man, love that. What an action taker. How's it going? Yo, Ranko, how's it going, man? Glad you like the videos, and I hope you are well. Yeah, Bruno, I'll second that. Trump. I mean, I'm in the UK, but get Trump in the UK. That's what I say. Yo, Sam, what's going on, big boy? Yeah, and Amy, I would say, honestly, hop onto my YouTube, go on videos, and then just like hand pick the videos. I've done a few videos about like lead generation and stuff like that. Just literally go onto my YouTube videos and then just yeah, select whatever ones that, you know, relate to you. Because most of the questions that you're asking me as well, I've done a video for. Push to the limit. I'm not sure what your name is, but how's it going? Okay, if anyone has any final questions, because I'm going to wrap up for the evening and I'm going to go have myself a bath. I've started picking up more sales on my online retail store and I'm pushing hard trying to leave my job. Great, Evan, awesome. Ramp up your content, Evan. Talk about your product every day. Tell people about your store. You know, tell people about why your store is the best. Put it into creative content. Go street interviewing. Hand out flyers. You know, get people to scan your QR code. Get a bit of merch with a QR code on the background to your store. Go out and ask questions about, you know, around things that you sell, but put it into a question that the public can answer, and then say if they scan your code, they'll get 10% off their first online order. Get them to follow you, get them to take a photo with you, invite to collab on Instagram. Like, just think outside the box, but every day just ramp up the content of posting. Oh, Amy, go all in on TikTok. For 6 months, just go all in on TikTok. Don't worry about anything else. TikTok is by far the most powerful organic platform to grow, you know, rapidly, to monetize on the platform, off of the platform. Yeah, just go all in on TikTok. Don't worry about anything else. Yeah, Evan, just honestly, mate, just think outside the box. Like, look at what Prime does. Look at what PC World and Currys are now doing. Like, look at all these companies and how they're doing green screen adverts, and you know, it's mad. Get really, really creative with your marketing. We've got a tattooed man on YouTube live before GTA 6. You know what makes me laugh? Like, who puts these random comments? You know, like, where are you in life? I just, you know, personally, I would just never go on and say anything random. Like, I just wouldn't have time. I wouldn't have time, I wouldn't have the effort, and I just couldn't be bothered to put something so nothing out into the ecosystem. And like, it's just bizarre. Absolutely bizarre. Very odd. Very odd. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you can go to my link. Anything you need from me, you can go to my link tree or go to because I'm unemployed. Oh, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. Well, we're live streaming on TikTok and YouTube at the moment, so I'll give you that one. You're unemployed. Fair enough. You can stick around. Gotta laugh. Well, if you just go to if you go to one of the videos of mine and go to my link tree, just click on that, and you'll have an option to request a call with me. The only marketing I've been doing is single image, almost posting daily memes. So come away, no memes, no images, all video. When I look into your eyes, I see the universe. Well, you're only human. You're only human. Right, I'm not going to authorize that one because we just. Oh, Amy, there are some oddballs. Yeah, like anything to do with crypto. We can't talk about it on my live because there's too many. There's too many fake accounts of me on TikTok. So yeah, I won't talk about any of that. I currently have a toxic boss who put everyone on a pip. Within the first month of him arriving, I think I'm handing him my notice. I think that's probably a wise decision. How is that even possible? I have a toxic boss who put everyone on a pip within the first month. How? I mean, how has that even been allowed? I mean, that's laughable. No, so there's two different types of call. There's a consulting call with me, which is an hour long, which is a paid call if you want to actually have a consulting call with me for a whole hour on Zoom. Yes, that is a paid call. If you want to book a free discovery call, well, that's for one of my programs. That's either the breakout program or the TikTok growth program. And that is just to touch base and to go through loads of details and to find out a little bit more about who you are, to whether you're right to and there's only certain placements. I just need to make clear that they're two different calls. The free discovery call is simply the free discovery call is whether you come into one of my programs. But do I have an OF page? No, I do not. No. I mean, I'm sure I'd make a lot of money. Gosh, I don't. Well, my VA changed it. I can't remember what I told her. You'd need to go check it out. It's on my page. I'm building the network, but not monetized it yet. Well, Ross, that's not a bad thing to do, mate. I mean, that's exactly how I done it. Just keep building your network. Keep, you know, keep building on your network without any ask. Like, don't have an agenda. Just keep building your network. Keep nurturing it. Keep filling other people's buckets up. And what you'll find is the whole life of equilibrium, at some point, all of these people that you're adding value to, or you're just, again, you're just nurturing relationships, you're just helping people out, you're going to different networking events. At some point, you'll realize that all these relationships that you're building 6 months, a year from now, they'll all come back into your life at the right time. And I mean that because that's happened to me so many times. It could be another moneymaker. Aaron, you need to do a masterclass in London. We do. Yeah, we do. So, yeah, our events company. So we're launching in November our next big red carpet VIP event. Although that one's a VIP event, 400 plus people, a prestigious, iconic hotel in the UK. We've got the CEO of the Amex. We've got CEOs at Gatwick. We've got CEOs from EasyJet. We've got Travel and Tourism Alliance in the UK coming. We've got big social content creators. We've got public figures on TV. We've got the press. We've got the media. Yeah, so if anyone doesn't know, that's one of the things that our events company does. We do big masterclasses. We do big in-person events. We do... what else do we do? We do VIP dining. And we do red carpet VIP as well. Yeah, we do online. Yeah, we do online webinars. Yeah. Well, it depends. I do webinars myself, which you can just join and learn from me, but also for our events company. Yeah, so for anyone who doesn't know, I co-founded one of the fastest growing events companies in the UK, by the way. So in case you didn't know that, that's one of the companies that I co-founded. But yeah, if you're in London or, we host them around the UK, you're more than welcome. How do I book a call, please? Again, Amy, if you just head to, if you just go to my TikTok and just, click that link, go to Linktree, choose whatever option, is best for you. You can book a free discovery call, or if it's a strategy, consulting call, or, if you wanted to join one of my programs, you'll see how highly successful they are by all the testimonials. If you go to Amy, if you go to just click on one of the starter packs, it should say Breakout Starter Pack, TikTok Starter Pack. Go on that, and you'll see all the types of people that are within my programs. What's the price for the consulting? Oh, hang on. With the video content. Hang on. It's the neighbour's cat. Come on then. Come on then. You want to come say hello? Yeah. There she is. You want to say hello? There we go. There's the neighbour's cat. Hey. Yo, Artie, the Queen's here. Look, just weird. That's just odd, isn't it? Aren't there some weird people out there? There really are. But yeah, Amy, everything will be on there. I think from the things you've been asking me, Amy, you're probably you'll probably thoroughly sort of take and enjoy what's possible in terms of really making this into a like a sustainable cash flowing business if you're serious. Yeah, Usma, but yeah, by all means, yeah, absolutely. Well, no worries. Yeah, Justine. Yeah, like I say, just go to the link tree and you pick whatever's relevant to you. So yeah, but I'm probably gonna wrap up because I'm getting pretty tired now. Yeah, well, Amy, you can also you can go on my. I mean, I've got a lot of Instagram pages, but if you go on my Aaron Knightley official Instagram, but you can go to my. If you just remember this, Amy, you can go to my TikTok growth program, all one word, TikTok growth program Instagram page. You can have a look at all my clients on there. There's client testimonials that you can click on the highlights, and then if you go to my breakout program page on Instagram as well, the breakout program, there's also all the clients, all the testimonials, all stuff like that. Loads of stuff you can look at. Right. Oh, and go. You can go follow us at Peak Performance Events on Instagram as well. So come on then, come on. Are you gonna jump? Come on then. Come on, you're thinking about it. She's thinking about jumping on me, but she's not quite got the Where's your mods? Yeah, can I get mods on YouTube? I've got mods on my. I'm on TikTok as well, but I didn't know you could get mods on YouTube. Yeah, I should probably look into that. I didn't know you could get mods on YouTube. Well, if anyone wants to tell me how to do that, I'll. Oh, hang on a minute. Oh, I can. Right, Adam, I've made you. Right, Adam, you're a moderator. Yeah, Amy, no worries. Zionist. Look, I've just seen that comment. What weird people. Look at that. What kind of place are you in mentally? What an oddball. Zionist, scum of the world. What? I'll tell you what, there's some absolute oddballs. Looks like Felix. God, YouTube's got them all out tonight, haven't they? Love that. I've got thick skin. I wouldn't. That's hilarious. Look at that. Are you a Zionist supporter? Well, I've got to keep you on your toes now. I'll tell everyone else, but I'm not telling you. I love that. This is what you've got to contest with, by the way. If you do create content for your brand or your business, be prepared for the oddballs to come out into the ecosystem and reveal their weird head. There's a lot of oddballs. But I got thick skin. I'm not even going to engage with. Let me guess. You identify as a wolf. I bet you're a wolf. Or you're a two-spirit penguin or something like that, aren't you? And yes, I love my country, England. And yes, I've even got a St. George's flag. There you go. Let me guess though, you are... Let me guess, you're a two-spirit penguin. No doubt. No doubt. What an oddball. Very weird. Anyway. Right, Adam, yeah, everyone, Evan, you know, pleasure's all mine, never a chore. Always a pleasure, never a chore. Right, I'm going to make a move now because I'm going to go have a bath. So I'm just going to, let's end one live at a time. So YouTube, I'm going to say goodbye, and I've got a new video coming out, which is going to be overcoming workplace problems, something like that. I don't know what the title's going to be yet. Brian, thanks so much, mate. Brian, I'm just going to make you a moderator actually as well. There you go. Adam and Brian are a moderator. There we go. Bosh. Pleasure's all mine, everyone. Happy days. I'll see you